You're listening to Alternative Frequency on WMNF Tampa, 88.5 FM. My name's Heidi, and I'm here with my co-host, Jen, and we have a guest in the studio. Yay.
Yay. We
haven't had a guest in a while, so thank you for coming in. Your mic should be on. Make sure you've...
Yep. Hey.
All right.
Hey. How y'all doing, man? Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Jen, I'll let you introduce our guest.
So this is my friend, my comrade, former housemate,
Concrete Rose family.
That's right. You've probably heard him on Poetry Is several times, in person and by playing his music in mine. I'm proud to have you. Thanks for coming in early this morning. So as one of the best poets in the Tampa Bay area, this is Dennis Amadeus. Good morning.
Good morning, man. It's an honor, like I said, to be here. And yeah, man, really cool seeing, hearing what y'all are doing, and to be a part of anything you put together is great. I highly respect you as much as you do me. So, it's great
Awesome.
To be here. And it's nice meeting you as well.
Nice to meet you, too. I'm excited to hear your poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason that we have Dennis, one of the main reasons we have Dennis in the studio is because he wrote a great spoken word piece called Seminole Strong, which has to do a lot with gentrification in the neighborhood that we both used to live in together, Seminole Heights. So I'm not going to keep talking. I will go ahead and let Dennis say his piece.
Snapback hat, starter windbreaker jacket, and skinny jeans with holes in them. I wore poverty like a fashion statement. Long before it was cool to wear hats with bent brims or really tight t-shirts or jeans with holes in them, and then suddenly somebody took notice. And now my childhood struggles are worn ironically by people who don't even know why it's ironic to begin with. Does this count as hipster? Is this cultural appropriation? Is poverty a culture now? It seems to be a lot cooler than it was in my day when you had to keep the sticker on your fitted cap to prove just how fresh you were. I never knew my fitted size because at the time, snapbacks were much cheaper, but were blasphemy at the lunch table churches of my high school. Condemned me to burns that damned my confidence. One of the biggest lessons I learned in this world was to value the things you can't afford. 3 years ago, I moved into a house that I could afford, with 4 battleship roommates, all harboring a passion for changing the world around them. Thus, a concrete rose was grown in a Seminole Heights neighborhood in Tampa, Florida, where everybody was always outside. The smell of barbecue crept over the fence like a nosy neighbor. The sounds of trash talk accented every curbside conversation. I used to just sit on my porch and watch a live canvas, swirling with the colors of loudness, struggle, and resilience. Love splattered down a frame of broken homes. My street wore poverty like a fashion statement long before it was cool to blast rap music at 10 a.m. in Saturday morning coffee shops, or to wear cornrows in Vogue magazine, or wear jeans with holes in them. And then suddenly somebody took notice. And in just 2 years, I've sat on my porch and watched a stronghold of 15 be washed away. Watch buildings once claimed by trees be reclaimed by banks. Watch people build up stores that do something good in a neighborhood they've never felt any of the bad in. A neighborhood they only felt safe enough to enter after the police swept it. After local residents were moved out, either in bags or in handcuffs. I didn't know that you needed drug dogs to find a serial killer. That murderer was a stain on a colorful canvas, so bleach was poured over the whole neighborhood, then deemed Seminole strong. How bold to name something after the people you killed to get it. Bold like a hunter's trophy room. Bold like victims of a serial killer's names brushed onto a wall only to be cleared right before election season, just like the people that actually used to live there forgotten, just like the ones who actually lost those loved ones as the trendy blood of appropriation continues to pump through a micro-brewed heart, bleeding a culture dry it was too colorblind to recognize in the first place. I tried to ignore the remodelers painting the town white in front of my eyes like I did the kids making fun of my Skechers or the jeans I wore every day for a week. But now I sit on my porch and watch a community once filled with filled with people who share that same struggle turn into people who choose to dress like that, who chose this place to live. And I hate that the worst part of it all is that I'm jealous to see a community come together over the capture of a serial killer, but never over the suffering of its own residents. And I miss the liveliness of a Friday night store sessions. I miss the laughter bellowing over the fence. I miss my friends from this humble corner of Tampa before it was a trend to kick out the ones living there in the first place. Hipster pilgrims turned founding fathers, turned this is all's land into this land is our land, turned the natives into a symbol of strength, stamped that symbol onto snapbacks and t-shirts and windbreakers and jeans with the holes in them, all to be sold in Seminole Heights. Seminole strong.
Awesome.
That was amazing.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on air and being willing to
thank you for coming in at this very early hour. It's a little strange, but
I remember, everyone was outside except for those two houses in front of us across the street, and they were the first wave of gentrification. And I remember they called the city on us for having vines on the fence.
Yeah, vines on the wall, man.
Yeah.
On the
it was
wall
just
of the
like,
house.
we were like, we thought it was a matter of aesthetic. Like, we like this, we'll keep this. But no, they called the city, and the city threatened to fine us for having vines on our fence.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. And now I went over there, and now every time I used to see you before you moved out, it's so quiet.
Yeah,
now the whole neighborhood used to be out and about. And the irony is that, they gentrify these neighborhoods to make them, quote, better and promote this sense of community, but they're never outside.
Nobody's, exactly. Like, before all these people moved in, it was like, always people were like outside, like kids from different houses were playing, riding their bikes together. People would be in the front yard barbecuing sometimes just playing dominoes and spades and drinking and yelling, and what I mean, like that was
real neighborhood,
right, you know what I mean. And it wasn't violent, there was no violence at the corner, you know what I'm saying. Maybe there was poverty issues and whatnot, but again, it wasn't nothing that was detrimental to anybody's health or living around in the area, or it wasn't some slum or something like that. It was, there's black owned businesses right on the corner, you know what I mean. There's a garage, Grady's garage over there that's that was kind of the pillar of that community. And so it was just sad to see houses filled with people, families be moved out, you know what I mean. Families that were there for, like I said, literally 10, 15 years. Again, this comes to the cost of not owning anything, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been somewhere if you don't own the place, right? But yeah, man, and just seeing all of a sudden the police presence picked up dramatically, you know what I mean? Now there were raids for about a little while, I would say maybe about 6 months. There was like a lot of raids, and then of course there was nothing because everybody was gone. They must have got everybody they targeted or whatever. And like Jen said, it's just quiet. I used to really enjoy walking down the street on a Friday night, man. You know what I mean? Because like everybody got their check, everybody was outside, everybody doing their thing, and it was just lively, and it was like Jen said, very community. It was, and then they come in, they're like, oh, we want to make it better. Nobody's outside. There's no more community. There's no more connection to anybody, and it's very sterile. And then they move in these stores. I don't know if I'm allowed to name any specifically, but they move into these stores literally right up the street, and the prices of the food in the stores is way higher than anybody wants to pay. Nobody wants to pay $9 for a hot dog. You know what I mean? Like,
holy crap.
It's insane, man.
And unless it's a golden hot dog. It comes with a Roth IRA or something.
But it was just very frustrating to watch. Also, I mean, before Jen moved there too, like those houses didn't have anybody living in them. They were dilapidated. They were like that for years, years, and literally just like that. I guess the value of the property hit whatever mark they were looking for. I'm not really sure how it works, but all of a sudden it was a swift change. They redid 3 houses around us, moved people in. There was the first family was hit was about 3 houses down the street. That was one of those big family houses. There was maybe 6 or 7 people in there. They were gone first, like real quick. And then there was the house across the street from them that was, Mook and them. Mm-hmm. And then there was another house, a blue one around the corner that was very similar. Again, all black families. And so they were all either moved out or the house around the corner was raided. And then I can't think of... Yeah, and any houses that were dilapidated were upgraded and people were moved in.
Yeah, and they all looked the same.
Yeah,
right, the 2 houses across the street from us looked the same, and those were the 2 houses. Like when you were talking about the Seminole Heights serial killer and using that as an excuse to sweep through with the cops. There were like 6 or 7 going door to door on each side of the street, and they were FBI agents in full like riot garb, with their semi-automatics and their helmets and their bulletproof vests and everything, just going from door to door, and they came to our place, and I think I was the only one home. You weren't home at the time. And they wanted to come in, and I was like, no, you're not coming in. And they're like, oh, well, if it's a drug thing, it's fine. We walked in on somebody smoking crack, and I'm thinking, no, you didn't.
I know, right?
Yeah. No, you
right.
didn't.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, well, I'd have to check with my housemates, and they're not here, but I'm pretty sure it's a no.
Right. No, and that's real. I'm glad you did that, man. I think Roger, too, was confronted. I think they came another time. But yeah, man. Like full. They look like they would just come from the Middle East.
They were
doing the campaign.
They
were like
dressed
the
for
brown
war.
full gear, man, going door to door.
Just like that brown camo, like dark khaki type color.
Yeah, definitely like dressed for war. All right. We need to do a music break. Do you want to hang out with us?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I would enjoy it.
All right. So now we're going to play Alice in Videoland with We Are Rebels. Thanks for listening to Alternative Frequency.